I want to share a funny story today. So I spent a few hours with someone and it was real funny. And then later on, just about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago, I spoke to someone else and it was really, really hilarious, right? Um, what it is basically, so I wanted to start off with this statement, right? Look, I'm only human, right? I'm absolutely only human. I do have emotions. I use them in certain places and certain places I don't. There are times when I'm completely emotionless, especially when I'm trading. I don't have any emotions, right? When I'm looking at the chart, I don't have emotions. When someone passes away, I don't have any emotions, right? When someone's happy, I can't show emotion. So I have these issues where there are times when I can't show emotions, and there are times when I am driven by emotion, right? So and sometimes when someone comes and talks to you about crypto, Bitcoin, and this and that, and they're trying to be meaningful, right? They're trying to hurt you. Emotions can take over, right? So, or any crypto basically, So I spent a couple of hours with a guy, and he was like, and this is the funny thing, right? Is he actually didn't mean to hurt my feelings or anything, but he was having a go at me as a friend, as a real good friend, right? Having a go at me. So it's like, these things that you put on Discord, these things that you say on YouTube, do you realize what they are? I was like, well, I do realize what they are. This is what I'm saying, right? It's like, yeah, but you're basically giving people signals. I'm like, no, I don't. He's like, no, you do. It's like, you do realize there are people out there who charge money for this stuff, and you're sitting there just giving it away. Absolutely, just giving it away. Doing that. I'm going to switch this light off because it's affecting my eyes. There is a blue light. I don't know if you can see. There's a blue light, so that may be illuminating my face a bit. But anyway, just it's okay. I don't mind the darkness, right? I don't mind the darkness. Okay, so and his point was, look, you're doing something on YouTube. Many people don't do. Many people that come on YouTube, and I'm not having to go at anybody or anything, and he wasn't either, but he was pointing out, he's like, many of the guys that come on YouTube talk about what already happened, right? What happened last month, what happened this, what happened that, and then they kind of base their probabilities on that. You probably do the same thing, but on your videos, you don't say that. You turn around and say, well, I think this is going to happen. I think that is going to happen. And you're more of a definite, right? And, you seem to stick by them and you seem to get things right. So you should be able to charge about this. I'm like, no, I'm not. I don't get it always right. I might get it wrong. I do get it wrong a few times, and sometimes I don't. But regardless, I'm not here giving signals. That's not what I operate. This channel wasn't created for crypto signals or whatever. So I kind of went emotional. I said, like, dude, honestly, let's not go down there, right? Because I don't want to even talk about this stuff. What I'm doing is self-satisfaction, right? I feel good when I say certain things. There are times when I've said, or things about particular coins, that they will do this, they will do that, and yet I've never bought any, and I've let it carry on, and I've continuously given whatever information is required regarding those coins, even though I've never touched it, because I'm driven by certain moral obligations, right? Certain things in the market. I have these belief systems where, if I have a method for a particular type of coin, then I stick to that method, right? For example, I always say that whenever it comes to Bitcoin and this and that, like the top ones, right? There are some that I would hodl, some I won't, right? So I'll keep some liquid. When I talk about altcoins, I always say altcoins are for making money. You make your money, you get the hell out, and then whatever profits you make, you dump it into BTC or whatever you want, right? So I have these kind of crazy methods that I kind of juggle. I don't want to imply them on anybody. I don't want to teach anybody these things. It's none of their problem. It's none of their business how I do my things. But I'm happy to talk about it. Now, whether people listen to me or not, that's a different story. So That's what it was. And then so this other guy, about an hour and a half ago, he came and he's like, oh, I've come to see you, the Bitcoin man. I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I come to see you. I want to talk to you. I said, okay, fine. So he introduced me to one of his mates. I said, okay. So his mate said, he's like, right, what do you do? I said, I don't know. What do you want to know, right? What do you want to know about crypto? And he's like, yeah, this man knows everything about crypto. He did it, whatever. I'm like, okay, fine. What do you know about crypto? He said, well, I'm a Bitcoin trader. I said, fine. So what do you trade? He said, I trade on Elliott Wave. I said, fine. You know, you can trade on waves, you can trade on phases, you can trade on everything, right? Everything is a wave, everything is a phase. But I don't do any of those. I used to be like a Pro Plus account holder, or Pro, like the top level of the trading view account holder. I've stopped that. I'm like, I don't even need that anymore. I've looked at every single indicator. I've got hundreds and hundreds of indicators, right? And yet I've stopped looking at all of them. I'm like, none of these matter anymore. What I've realized is over my time in crypto and on the charts, right, the amount of time I spent on charts, I realized that I don't need waves to tell me what's going on. I don't need to know what phase we're in to tell me what's going on. I don't need none of that. Basic momentum and trend is all I need. Trend is your friend until the end. Now you can have a trend on an hourly chart, you can have a trend on the 4-hourly chart, whatever. So as an example, I showed him something. There was a coin I talked about a few days ago, and I've been talking about on Discord as well. I've talked about this on other videos as well, regarding SEI, right? It could be absolutely nothing. All I know is a blockchain and it's a coin. I don't care about anything else, right? I have done some digging into it, but again, none of that matters. I don't really care what the coin is, what the tokenomics is, what the vesting schedules are, none of that matters to me. All I looked at was, it's just another altcoin. Of course, it's a good altcoin because it's a blockchain. I do like blockchains more than tokens, right? So yes, it's a blockchain. Fair play. That means it's got longevity. Now, price sustainability, I don't think so. There are going to be dumps when these coins come out of the staking and the lock mechanisms. They will start dumping, right? But when are these dumps due? That was really important for me to find out. And when I started looking at the timetable and everything, I was like, okay, I can play this, right? I can dump just before these things start to unlock. So every time they unlock, I could dump and then I can rebuy again. Or I could do a daily strategy where daily, if it's doing 15-20% per day, like today it did like almost 30%, right? So if it does a 30%, I can pump with that and then get the hell out, right? So sorry, these cars coming in, the lights messing around. So that's something that could also be done. So I just looked at that and I thought, you know, this is a strategy I can play. So I know a lot of the brothers on Discord and whatnot, right? They've kind of missed. So there's a few brothers who follow me all the time. Whatever I say, they're always there. They're very active, which is really nice to see because, you know, when you form a server, you form a community, right? So, you know, here I am on YouTube. I've got, I think, 2,900 subscribers. And by the way, if you are new to the channels, a simple subscribe doesn't hurt anybody. It doesn't cost you anything, but it does kind of help me morally. It says, okay, fine, people want to see. If it doesn't grow, then I would be like, oh, maybe that's it. People don't want to grow anymore. It does help the brother out a little bit if you do hit that subscribe button. And of course, if you like the video, then the algorithm also works. If you put a comment, the algorithm also likes it. So it's one of those kind of things. If people are not prepared to give you a like or a share or, you know, subscribe, then you get to the point where it's like, oh, what am I talking about? Of course, I'm going to be here for the community that's already there. I'm never going to abandon you guys. That's one thing for sure. I mean, even if I do decide to shut this YouTube channel down completely, I will share on my community where I'm going or what I'm doing, right? And talking about community, we don't have a big community. It's a small community. Most people are active. Sorry, a few people are active. Most people are not active. Again, it's okay. I don't really have a problem with that. Very little few people that are very active. I'm happy to listen to them. I'm happy to talk to them and advise them. What, you know, obviously not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice, even on Discord anyway, right? I do not give financial advice. I'm just saying what the probabilities are and what the charts are screaming out and shouting. That's all it is, right? So, yes, I make bold predictions, right? I make bold predictions, you know, and people think what they want, right? So there are some people who think that I'm just doing everything wrong, hence why I'm not progressing. And then there are people out there who think that things I say are set in stone, and it's not. Right? I'm only human, guys. I'm only human. I do make mistakes. I'm only telling you things based on what I'm seeing on the chart, how I'm seeing it, and what the probability of that particular thing happening is, right? Like when I look at the Bitcoin's charts, especially on a weekly, it is getting to a point where it's really, really overheated. So I'm thinking that, okay, market is overheated. We might see a turn. And if we do, this could be within the next 2 to 3 weeks. Again, I'm putting a timeline on it, right? It's very bold of me to say something like this, but that's what I'm seeing, right? I'm seeing, okay, whatever I'm seeing now may actually come into effect in a couple of weeks' time, right? 2-3 weeks' time. So maybe it's not true. It's fine if it's not. But until then, we can't say anything. So, let's see where the chart leads and what really happens. But for now, I'm just seeing a weakness. That's what it is. So I just explain to people that's the weakness I'm seeing. Now, if we do get a weakness and we do get a pullback, right, which I'm expecting, because, okay, there's two things, right? Let me explain this. So on the BTC chart, what you'll find is we've attempted to break this $37,600 line that I drew. It's a yellow line that I drew, and you can see it on many of the charts. I don't want to show you charts and this and that. By the way, no green screens, no chart, no scripts here. This is just me, literally on my way home, parked up on a side road, just giving you this information. Time now is what? I'll tell you what the time now is. Time now is 11:14. So we have 46 minutes, I believe, remaining until the daily candles close on the 28th. So today is the 28th of November. So just for context, right? But yeah, so when I'm looking at the chart, I see this pattern forming, and I'm like, okay, we're overbought, because we pumped too fast, too quick. But when I zoom into the daily charts, I see there's room for movement, right? Especially when I'm looking at the daily chart, I'm seeing that we've tested the 37,600. We broke that a few times. Even today we broke it. We went to, I think, 38,200 or something like this, right? We went there. So we smashed through a few times, but we constantly get rejected. It's like a brick wall sitting there, right? So a wall of shorts, a wall of bears just sitting there. Now it's a matter of us defeating these bears and then moving forward, right? And so far, everything is indicating that there's a possibility we might do this. So we might have a new local high, right? So like today we had a new local high, 38,200 or 300, whatever it was. We had that, great, right? We got rejected, no problem. We didn't close. So the body of is the fact that we're looking for, and that fact hasn't printed for us, all right? That fact, and you're probably thinking, why am I looking that way? I'm actually looking that way because I'm going to quickly jump on my BTC and I'm going to tell you what it is right now. So it's sitting at 37,900, which means that we didn't create that fact that we want. However, the fact that we have now, which is 37,900, is still higher. The body of the candle is higher than what it was previously. So that means that's positive. All right, so the indications, as you can see, the numbers and everything are aligning that yes, we could push even further. That means we could push to 40k, all right? We could push to 45k. So the momentum is there, the sentiment is there, which is great, all right? But of course, we still have to kind of observe the higher time frame to see, okay, where are we on the higher time frame, right? Even on the monthly, where are we on the monthly time frame? Again, we're in the overbought territory, but then these things could last forever. So there's no such thing as absolutely written in stone. This is exactly what's going to happen. No, within the next 3 weeks, depending on how the market structure forms, right? Because we don't have these candles. Remember this, and I've talked about this many times. When I'm talking about tomorrow, that candle doesn't exist. When I'm talking about a week later, that candle doesn't exist, right? When I'm talking 3 weeks later, that candle doesn't exist. I'm literally telling you what's going to happen 21 days from now. What's the probability of something happening in 21 days from now? Those candles do not exist, guys. So please do understand. Right? I'm not predicting anything. I'm just telling you the probability or likelihood of something happening based on what the chart is showing us today. Not yesterday, not day before, not last month, just what it's showing today, right? Or this week or last week, whatever. You know what I mean, right? So that's what I'm trying to show you. Now, obviously, things play out quite funny sometimes. And yeah, I mean, people like to put waves and theories and phase one and phase two. Well, let me give you this about Elliott wave theory, right? So this particular guy, and this is actually what I missed, right? So sorry, I was about to tell you this. So he's putting his Elliott wave theory. I said, okay, fine. So I pulled up the chart and I put it on a weekly, and I said, okay, what does your Elliott wave theory give me based on the previous all-time high? So he's gone ahead. He's like, yep, this was Elliott wave theory level 3. We went down and then we hit level 5 and we're coming down again. I'm like, so where are we now? And he's like, we're on phase 1, all right, or Elliott wave level 1. Whatever nonsense he was talking about. I was like, dude, forget that. You failed already, because he got confused when he was looking at the chart because it didn't make sense to him. So I was like, right, if you then take a part of the chart and connect all the dots, absolutely your Elliott wave theory will connect. But when I'm showing you an entire chart, your theory doesn't work. So he failed and he just kept himself shut. So he said, I'm going to go home and I'm going to do X, Y, Z. So that's the funny part as well, because I'm going to go home, I'm going to make some charts up and I'm going to bring it back from them. By all means, I've got my chart here on my phone. You can see what's on my chart. Nothing. There's a few lines I drew. Other than that, nothing. Stochastic RSI and RSI. That's it. There is absolutely nothing on my chart. That's my chart. So you want to go and show me Elliott wave 3? Bring it along, no problem, right? You want to tell me where your next number is going to be? Bring it along, no problem. So I'm not challenging him or anything. There's no money or anything on there. Oh, you know, maybe I could have bet him, but that's not the point. You know, I'm not being confident here saying, oh, I'm going to get this right or wrong. No, none of that business, right? Anyway, as I said, I'm only human, right? I'm sometimes driven by emotions. Anyway, let's talk about the brothers who have kind of missed some of these coins. So there was Polkadot, which went to the bottom, and I think the very same day it hit the bottom, I did mention to guys that, guys, this is a moment where it could either dump completely or this is the buy zone. Now, I was still hodling, so I didn't buy any, right? Complete transparency, I didn't buy any because I was still holding some, and I was just slightly below my average buy, so I didn't really bother. I was like, right, leave it, I've got enough, right? You know, when you've got a few thousand coins, it doesn't matter. So just left it. I was like, I forget about it, it doesn't make any difference to me. So I mentioned Polkadot. I think it was Solana. Previously I mentioned Solana like at $10 or $12. I did this kind of a basic analysis. I said, guys, look, FDT is gone, FTX is gone, Solana's done this, whatever, and I feel Solana's going to do well as well. So these are like kind of indications, but I don't want to directly say buy this or buy that, because that's one thing I don't want to do, right? There's this narrative going on, there's this whole thing going on, right, in this, especially in the social media and the YouTube communities, right, especially the larger communities, where an influencer comes along and says a particular name of a coin after he's already bought it, and they start pumping. And I don't want to do that, right? I'm not going to say any of this stuff. I'm not an influencer, by the way. I don't want to influence anybody to do anything, right? You do your own research, you make your own mind up, right? I'm only here going to give you the facts or the probabilities of what something might do and something might not do. So you mentioned, like, you know, one of the brothers said, can you give me like top 20 coins? What do you think these will do? And I understand where he's coming from, because I usually say to anybody, I say, look guys, if you do want to play safe, always pick the top 20 coins, right? Excluding the UST or USDT or whatever coins, right? Always stick with where the biggest funds are, where the biggest money is involved, right? So the top 10 coins, top 20 coins, stick with those. Those are your safety coins, right? But there's a time for it. And I did mention to the brother on Discord, I said, there's a time for it. This is not the time for you to pick up coins and hodl and this and that. No, that's not the time. We are going to have that time, because we are expecting a big market crash. Crashes in like 20-25%, maybe even 30%. But saying that, just because it happened previously doesn't mean it's going to happen this time. It might be 10%, right? We may have already had it. Think about it. So, the previous history does not dictate the present or the future, right? Let's just say this way. So anything would happen, but ultimately, what goes up will come down, even if it's 1 or 2%, 5%, 10%, 20%, doesn't matter. It will come down, right? And the bigger moves happen on the bigger candles, like the weekly candles, the monthly candles. Those are the bigger moves that we look for. So that's why I'm saying that there is something due, and it's going to come very soon. And the probability, looking at the past, is usually around the time of like the middle to the end of December. But then it could all be different this time, or usually around January. But again, it could be all different this time. But one thing for sure, middle of February to the beginning of March, or sometimes even to the end of the March, usually things start to look good, right? Usually, right? Not all the time, right? And a good way to see that is if you go to CoinGlass and look at the monthly returns, all right, and average monthly returns, and you can see year to year what the monthly returns were, right? And then you get a rough idea how the patterns work out, and very similar, not exact, but very similar patterns will show up. So those are only for the big numbers, by the way, the big gains, the big crypto, right? I'm not talking about the small ones. But when the market starts to build, the largest percentage move, so when you're going to see coins doing 50% a day, 100% a day, 20% a day, 25% a day, 30% a day, those are usually the small coins, not the small cap. So please understand this. Again, on YouTube and social media, there are a lot of people talking about the sub 1 million, so below 1 million market cap, right? These are just meme coins or shit coins or scam coins. Probably they created themselves. They're just trying to pump the shit out of it, right? I saw a coin on, I forgot where it was. I saw it. It done 294,000% in a single day. So I looked at it and I was like, seriously? I went in and I looked at it, and it basically seemed like it was just launched. So it was just launched on that same day, and it showed up on the charts as a 294% pump, but it wasn't. The total liquidity was only 50,000 US dollars. So I realized, I was like, okay, so whoever created this is created this illusion that that's what it is. And I'm sure many people have probably come in and probably given the $50,000, right? But ultimately, that's a scam. That's a scam, right? You know, I don't like sub 1 billion, put it this way, right? I like to stay above $1 billion, because for me, if $1 billion has been invested, right, there's a lot of money sitting there. People are not joking about with these coins. But when you got coins with a few thousand here, a few thousand there, maybe even a few mil, they are high risk. They may have the highest returns, by the way, 294,000%, right? On a single bloody day. But they are going to also have the highest risk. Do I want to take the risk with my money? Am I sitting here and gambling? Did I come to a casino? No. Right? All investments, regardless where it is, you know, whether you're doing leverage trading, whether you're doing futures, whether you're doing commodities, doesn't matter what it is, right? You know, whatever you're doing, you're not doing it to gamble. Because when you get into that mentality, you might as well just burn that money or give it away, because that's what you're doing. You're getting ready to get wrecked. And then you're going to blame the whole crypto industry. Oh, the crypto shit, crypto's that. No, it's not. It's you. You're the idiot, right? But anyway, I'm not having a go at anybody, right? Just want to say, guys, look, there's an opportunity the market's going to give. And one of the things that I've noticed, and you can see this on the charts as well. So these altcoins or blockchains or whatever you want to call them, right? These are pumping like, 10, 15, 20% almost every day. And then they come down marginally, right? So say, for example, something pumped 20%, and it comes down like 10%. That's 50%. It's fine. 50% corrections are absolutely fine. So it corrects for 50%, and then it rolls off again, right? So when I see that, I'm like, okay, these are coins I want to be looking at. And I'm not mentioning any coins. I mean, I mentioned a few like Polkadot. Fine. Don't worry about Polkadot, right? Everything needs to start moving for Polkadot to also start moving. Polkadot, can it go to $40 again where it was, or whatever dollars it was? Can it go back there? If we have a parabola, yeah. But is it going to happen this year? I don't think so. So if where we are right now, say, for example, we're sitting at $5, I think now, right? Currently sitting at $5. So I'm just giving an example, guys. We're sitting at $5 and it drops by 30%. We got it for $3.50. Say Ethereum We're currently sitting at $2,000, 2,000 and something dollars, right? If that drops by 30%, then think about it. You got yourself a $400 discount. We got that just a few days ago as well, but you're getting yourself a $400 discount. So that means that's an opportunity. Bitcoin, so Bitcoin is going to be different. So if everything else does 30%, Bitcoin is going to be at least 20%, right? Or maximum 20%, I would say, because the ratio is quite high, because the alts will dump faster. So the smaller the coin, the bigger the dump, right? So when Bitcoin does a 10%, right, or let's say 20%, Bitcoin does a 20%, market is shaken 20%, depending on how many $1 billion these coins have, you will see a significant drop in the valuation of those coins as well. So some coins will drop. If BTC drops by 20%, other coins will drop 20, 25, 30, all right? Like these are the good ones, the strong ones with the strong communities. And then you see the altcoins, literally the shit of the shit, right? The shit coins, right? All the scam coins, the 2 million scam coins out there, they will bleed out. They will bleed out, right? Because they're worthless. They're worthless. Are they worth it to do anything? Is it worth to jump into them? Yes. If you can get in and get out same day, you're laughing. But if you can't do that, forget it. It's not worth it, right? If you can't do that, get out. That's all I'm going to say. So, yeah, that's all I want to say, right? That's all I want to say. Sorry, I just remembered something because I saw something earlier on in one of my account, and that date kind of flashed because I saw something, and I think there's a bug because I bought something 2 or 3 days ago, but the date I saw was the 7th of October. I got to find out why it showed me 7th of October and not 3 days ago. So I'll figure that out. Anyway, that's not a problem. Looking at SEI coin right now, sitting at 28 cents. Candle will be closing, so the market will be closing. So today's daily candle will be closing in about 30 minutes. So let's see where it goes. I'm on a 4-hour candle. I'm just looking at it. It's at 28 cents. In fact, I did tell everybody that the Fibonacci was showing 28 cents. However, on Binance, I believe it went to 34 cents. So I don't know how, but all other charts have indicated it went to 29 cents. But Binance somehow is showing that it did go to 34 cents. But bear in mind, it was on Binance USD, not not the Tether coins or anything. It was on USD, the dollar value, basically. So I think there was something wrong with the Oracle or something. I'm not quite sure. Hence why I don't really like Oracles. I will drop something. So of course, look, many people want to know what coins to pick and what the probabilities are. Any probabilities I give right now are going to be just hypothetical. None of them are going to be set in stone. Hypothetical. Because what I'm looking for is how far it can drop. So I'm more interested in how far it can drop. All right, absolutely not interested on how high it can go, because I don't believe we're going to get to 100k by the end of the year. Right, we only got a month left. I don't believe anything anybody's saying, especially like when they're talking about, you know, BTC going to 100k, 150k, 250k, $1 million, $1 billion, whatever. I don't care. None of those numbers, none of those hypes. You know, I'm not on those train. Right, very simple. I'm sitting in my car right now. That's it. Right, I'm not on those train. You know. I'm keeping it calm, and I think I know what the market will do. 48k possible to test it this season, right? Like this year, 2023, 48k possible. But it's a bit iffy, right? When I said like market showing weakness on the weekly, that's why I think maybe not, right? Maybe not. Maybe it might be a Christmas surprise. You never know, right? We might hit that 48k, but are we going to go any further? I doubt it. And again, 48k, that line was drawn back in 2021. So a lot of you guys who watch my videos, you know that 48k was an important line, hence why we drew it. Like the 37,600 was an important line, hence why I drew it. And you can see exactly what's happened. I know many months, many years later, people have come back and now are talking about the 36,700. Oh, that's where the resistance and support is. But we spoke about it 2021, all right? Because we looked at the chart for what it is. We looked at the chart for what it is. We didn't give a damn about waves. We didn't give a damn about news. We didn't give a damn about phase 1, phase 2, we don't care about none of those. They don't matter. There's only, for us, we have a phase where we hit the bottom, and we have a buying phase, and we have a selling phase. That's it. Nothing in between. All right, pumps, dumps, this, that, whatever, market correction, ups and downs. None of that matters to us. News doesn't matter, right? The world could turn over, Armageddon could be here. It still doesn't matter for us, right? We're realists. We understand that there's only two phases. You buying phase, and selling phase, right? So I know it's pretty crazy. I know, listen, guys, you probably came to the video today and thought, okay, this guy's going to give us some sort of an analysis, some sort of this. But no, actually, I wasn't even going to make a video today. In fact, I made 2 other videos in the past couple of days. I haven't even released them. I don't want to release them. Right? There are things I've said I'm not proud of, but I've said out of anger, out of emotion, because of what I see. And I shouldn't take things personally, but sometimes I do. And, you know, it's just one of those kind of things. It just felt really, really... I was angry. I was angry at looking at channels, other YouTube channels, who have many things wrong with them. All right. But more importantly, they're complete scammers, and no one's calling them out. Right. And they constantly go and hype stuff up, and they're cashing out on that. And no one's actually figured that out. You know, and then like myself, I'm frustrated because I'm only trying to do the honest thing here. And even then, I don't get to, like, apart from my regular viewers, regular subscribers, like the people who subscribe for a long time, regular guys on Discord, I don't see anybody new. So I was kind of frustrated about that. And I was like, well, why am I repeating myself? Don't need to. Anyways, I'm not here for that right now, but I just thought I'll share this funny story where this guy's trying to give his Elliott wave, and then the other guy's trying to get me to monetize. It's not going to happen. Do you know what I mean? It's not going to happen. I mean, look, I've left links below. I don't care if someone clicks them or not. They're just there. Do I get a kickback when you do? Some of them I do get a kickback. Some of them I don't. I don't really care. Again, I just don't care. But it's just there. You know what I mean? Everyone does it. It's just there. Here's a funny one. Yesterday on the YouTube, I was watching something, and on my feed, I saw this channel pop up, right? Brilliant channel. He has only 4 videos. 4 videos. In 1 year, he's only done 4 videos. And he has like 30 or 40,000 subscribers, right? And I looked at it, it's just 4 videos. He doesn't even show his face. He doesn't even give his real voice. He's masked, right? So he's got a mask on, and each video had a different voice. Clearly it's not the same. It's either not the same person or it is the same person, whatever the case. But anyway, they only had 4 videos. And I looked at that and I was like, everything he's saying on this video, I've seen 1,000 times. But fascinating to see how he has 4 videos, no links, nothing, just a very basic description, and he's got like 30 or 40,000 subscribers. Got me thinking. I said, well, what am I doing wrong? Me being honest, showing my face here, my voice, my original voice, the whole lot. Is that what I'm doing wrong? So, you know, it kind of gets you. But then I took it in a funny way. I was like, okay, do I want to be that guy with the mask? Absolutely not. So I am fine exactly where I am. So kind of sometimes, you know what, you need to see these kind of things to kind of put things into perspective and say, do I want to be that person? No, I don't. I am who I am, and I'm proud of who I am. And yeah, self-satisfaction, right? But other than that, guys, I'm not going to give you any other analysis. Right now, I might just tell you about Bitcoin, what I think. So candle's closing, again, candle right now is 37,700 and whatever. Let me click into it, and I'm just gonna quickly see what the numbers are. So yes, we've on the 4-hourly, we've kind of started to dip down again, right? I'm looking at the 4-hourly. Let me have a look at the daily, right? Daily, yeah, we're struggling. So kind of undecided whether we should continue to stay up or stay below that 37,600, right? So this is where the battle line is, right? It's a funny battle line. This is exactly where it is. However, the trend is up. Trend is up. Hence why I'm going to say another bold thing here is we're definitely going to try and test that 38K again. So until then, yes, we're going to see a little bit of volatility. When would I start panicking? And I'll tell you, when would I start panicking? If I end up seeing a candle around the 35,700, 35,500, this is low number. Think about it, $2,000. If I see that kind of a number, I will start panicking. All right. If we start breaking that support zone, I will start panicking, because that will kind of invalidate the entire pattern. Until then, we could take a break. I'm not too concerned. Even on the weekly, I'm not too concerned, right? Monthly, however, if we can stay above 37K, just 37K on the monthly, that's a great sign. That's a great sign, right? That gives us room to go further. That gives us a chance to get to the $48,000, you know. And if we are going to test the 38K, guys, we'll be fine. I think the monthly candle will close. I mean, it's definitely going to close on a positive. Hasn't really been much of a negativity, so I'm okay with that. Now, the one thing I've constantly mentioned, many videos as well, is Ethereum. Ethereum really needs to get above the $2,142 level. I'm very specific about that number. It needs to get above and print a candle. When it does, you'll see exactly what I mean. When it does, 48,000 isn't a problem on BTC. Right? You'll understand when you see it, right? $48,000 on a BTC is not a problem if Ethereum can go to 2,142 and stay above there, right? In fact, other coins we've talked about, like SEI or whatever, SEI, loads of other coins, right? Polkadot, whatever. So many different coins we've talked about, right? There are other coins as well I don't agree with, but I've had people talk about them, other people mention them. I've talked about TIA, Celestia, a few other coins like that, right? None of that matters, right? If Ethereum can go to 2,142, you will see the pumps come into the market. You will see 40, 50, 60% pumps on some of these big boy coins. So even coins that have $1 billion, you see another $500-600 million, if not like $1 billion come into this. These coins will pump like there's no tomorrow, right? That's what you see. So it's not about BTC moving first or anything. Right now, we have this kind of a little block, right? You know, there's a block. That block needs to be broken, right? This whole brick wall needs to be smashed through, and Ethereum is currently holding that. Why do I say Ethereum? Well, let's put it this way. You have the total market cap and you have the total dominance, right? Everybody knows about dominance, right? You have BTC currently at 57-58% dominance. You have Ethereum around 19 or 20% dominance. So when you combine both of them together, they're like almost 8% of the entire market. And then you have the other shit coins, the other 2 million coins, right? So this is just 2 coins with that dominance, and then everything else, right? And I know there are some other coins with about 4 or 5%. I'm not even talking about them. Let's just focus on the 80% and all the rest. BTC cannot be 100% at this particular stage. It is impossible for BTC to be 100%. As long as Ethereum exists, BTC can never be 100% dominance again. Let's just put it this way, right? BTC cannot be more than 60, 70, maybe even, let's say, yeah, 60, 70%, 75%, probably 75%. It cannot be more than 75% as long as we have 2 million shitcoins taking part of that dominance. Cannot. And then you got Ethereum. Ethereum, same story. Ethereum's at 19%, right? It could be 15%, it could be 10%, but doesn't matter. Ethereum's not going away. So when you combine both together, they are very powerful. They are a pair. Right now, they are a pair, right? That means if one is moving, right, and the other doesn't, there's a problem. It's like the current situation in the gold and silver market. Gold prices, we know they move X, Y, Z, right? They do whatever. Silver is stagnant. What do you think is going to happen when silver eventually decides to explode? It will drag everything with it, all the shit metal with it as well. It's going to drag it with it. So that's what you have to understand. The way I look at it, it's like, you know, right now Ethereum has a lot of coins. Obviously, people talk about Solana, Cardano, Polkadot, this dot, that dot, Saycoin, whatever. It doesn't matter. Even Base. Now, Base I do like, but Base doesn't have a coin. Regardless, right? You know, Arbitrum, this, that. But when it comes to Arbitrum, Optimism, and this and that, there's a reason why I don't talk too much about them. Because, guys, let's be honest with ourselves. Whether they call themselves scaling solution or complete different name, they are Ethereum. They are built for Ethereum, nothing else. So they're not really anything different. They are still considered part of Ethereum ecosystem, right? When we talk about Solana, okay, it's a different story. That's a whole ecosystem of its own. So they are a blockchain. They have their own tokens. When we talk about Base, they have their own token. But Base is also quite funny because Base is... So Optimism is built as a scaling solution for Ethereum. And then Base is built on top of it. Optimism, it's the same thing. So yeah, it's weird stuff. But anyway, I just want to see where the money goes. You know, I'm following the money, nothing else. But yeah, other than that, guys, I don't want to talk anymore. As I said, I'm not giving you guys any analysis, anything like this. I've said what I had to say. I've said it before. I don't want to repeat myself. I'm just looking at what the market is doing right now, and you know, a few coins. I'm not looking at all of them because, guys, there are plenty coins out there, right? In fact, actually, I forgot to. So recently, I've actually dumped some of my BNB tokens. All right, I've dumped some of my BNB tokens, and I'm putting my BNB. Well, I just wanted to dump it. I dumped it into SEI. Right? Again, I'm not telling anybody to go and buy SEI, none of that business, right? I just have a feeling if the market is going to move, then SEI should be able to give me 10-15%, right? Because BNB right now is quite volatile. Now, there was once upon a time, I was hoping BNB could be the next Ethereum. It could go all the way to $1,000. Coincidentally, BNB technically is, right, the next Ethereum because it probably, if not the same number, had close enough, right, of projects on BNB. But that's also being diluted by other projects. So again, I'm not looking at that. But with all the news and all the drama right now, BNB is a bit volatile. So I'd rather not be in a volatile coin where I'm not seeing the big significant moves. Maybe it might just come and pump one day. Maybe CZ just come and just say pump everything. That could happen. There's a probability. But right now, I'm not too interested about that. I'm just glad it didn't dump all the way. But I could use the funds that I have there into something else that is pumping, that is doing 10-15%, whatever, right? So it's just one of those kind of, it's like, you know, I'm just being opportunistic, right? Opportunistic, yeah, whatever. Anyway, so that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to take the opportunity to go and make a little bit more change, right? Because remember, there's times when you invest to make the big gains, right? The life-changing gains, right? There are times when you buy and you hodl. It doesn't matter what the market does, you're still going to make a shit ton of money, right? That's what you do. But then there are times when you make small change, right? You make pocket change, right? Pocket money. For me, I'm doing pocket money, right? That's all I'm doing, pocket money. I'm not looking at big games. I was talking to someone earlier on today and the guy was ready to go and buy something. I was like, guys, please understand this, right? There's a time to buy, there's a time to sell. You know, I could have 3, 4, 5x my money right now. In fact, just recently I blew some money and I said, look, if I didn't blow that money and I had it, right, I would have been up like 15x right now. I would have been up 15x because it's a big sum, right? So if I put that down, I would have been up 15x. 15x, easy, you know, problem solved, no problems, right? I'll be launching XYZ, whatever, doesn't matter. A lot of funds recently was required for something. So hence why I'm kind of just sitting back. But while I'm here, I've got the opportunity to make small change. Why not? You know? So I'm not talking about dumping and getting out of the market. Oh, I've made my money, I'm out. No, none of that business. I'm making small change because compounding on small change adds up to be a lot more change than even the big money I was going to make. Does that make sense, right? So that's what I'm doing because liquid capital is very important. You need dry powder. If you don't have dry powder, you can't play this game, right? You can sit, you can buy at the bottom, right? Or BTC at $15,400, 15,000 whatever dollars, you buy and you sit on it. What do? You don't cash out because you're sitting on it. You're still, oh, what if it goes? What if it does? You haven't cashed out. But you can do that if you have small change, right? So you can do that and have some small change to do your daily stuff, right? To do your little change, your little coffee money, you know, XYZ. So that's what it is. So that's what I'm playing right now. I'm not focused on my hodl portfolio. I'm not focused on my long-term portfolio. All I'm focused on is my daily portfolio. Daily 10% here, 15% there, 20% there, whatever. Weekly, doesn't matter. That's what I'm focusing on. But then I do have a point or when I'm comfortable and I'll be like, let go. All right, there's a point, let go. Right, earlier on today, when was it? I think it was about an hour ago, right? I mean, we're coming up to what, 12 minutes left to close. This video has been going on for 45 minutes. Yeah, about an hour ago, I sent a message on Discord and I said to everyone, I said, guys, I think it's time to get rid of SEI until reset, right? Why? Because I saw some weakness. I saw weakness on the hourly charts. I saw weakness on the 4-hourly charts, right? So when I see weakness, I got to look at it. I'm looking at a daily chart right now. It's currently back up 28 cents, right? Hold on. Let's go. So yeah, when I'm looking at 4-hourly, it looks okay, but there is some weakness there. When I'm looking at the hourly, definitely seeing weakness there. Definitely seeing weakness. Of course, it's pumping, which is great, but you know, I'm not expecting much, right? So I dumped it because I'm waiting for that correction. I'm waiting for BTC to be rejected. I'm waiting for Ethereum to be rejected from where it tested, right? And if it does get rejected, great. Then I get myself 5-10% discount from where it is now. And then I've already made like 20% today, right? So 20% profit, down, compound, back in again, and then do whatever. You know what I mean? So, you know, and I've said this to other people as well, recently as well. A lot of people ask me, say, what's the probability of, say, you know, what's the price prediction for, say? I said, well, forget the price prediction. Doesn't matter how high it goes. One thing we know, it's definitely going back to its launch price. So from today's price, from where we are now, we're only 3x, 3.5x away from all-time, the original price, the launch price, $1, right? I think Coinbase was the one that done it for $1. So if we go back to $1, that's it. And then what? Then this is nothing there. There's nothing above that. So that means we can create whatever number we want. We can go to $5, $10, whatever, right? The possibilities are endless. So, you know, question is, are we going to get there now, right? Or close enough now? And I think right now we have a good opportunity to get towards there at least. Whether we get there or not, that's a different story. But we can get to, you know, we can start moving towards there, provided the market stays the way it is right now, provided that Bitcoin still has the momentum to push forward, and it does. So far, I'm seeing the momentum is there, you know, just hoping that these coins still keep that momentum as well and push further 10%, 20% per day, all right, to the point where they can push forward. Now, from the bottom to where we are now, I think last I checked was that coin was 160% up, 160% up. From not the bottom, but from where I first noticed it. I think from where I first noticed it. So yeah, I mean, let's see where it goes. But as I said, probability is it's probably going to go and test that original zone where it was launched at, the launch price. It will definitely test that. And once it tests that, guys, you know, sky's your limit, right? Sky's your limit. Of course, when you look at the tokenomics, there are probabilities that there are certain numbers that it would never go above. That when we look at, for example, here's a simple maths, right? The coin has 10 billion token total, right? Whether it's released or not, doesn't matter. 10 billion tokens in total. So if this thing goes to, say, $1, that's $10 billion. Fine, we can handle $10 billion. If this thing then goes to $10, that's $100 billion. We could also handle that. There's no reason why we can't have $100 billion project. But if this project then goes to $100, that's $1 trillion project. Now there's a problem. So we have to be realistic in our numbers in what the expectations should be. You know, we're not going to think about this project ever going to the moon unless they burn half of them or something, right? You know, but then again, in the future, if we have enough money lying around, I don't see a reason why we can't have $1 trillion, you know? But then if people start now shouting and screaming, oh, we're going to go to $500, $400, you know, when the numbers come, you'll see the hype, right? The hype train, when it goes off, my God, it goes off, right? So a lot of people are going to start talking about shouting and screaming, oh, we're going to go $500, $1,000. Seriously? Have you done the maths? Have you looked at the probability? You need that much money to be able to do. You don't have that money. So there are loads of things that need to be understood, right? Again, I think I've done a very long video today, 49 minutes. It's been a while since I did one of those videos. But yeah, guys, I'm not going to say anything else. I'm going to go home. Not far. It's freezing outside as well. It's 3 degrees outside. Would you believe that? 3 degrees. Anyway, 7 minutes left to the candle close. I hope within the next 7 minutes I can have this video uploaded and on your way. So at least whether you watch it tonight or whether you should watch it tomorrow, great. If you have watched the video until now, thank you very much for watching the video until now. Please do put something in the comment that indicates that you have at least watched it until now. Preferably if you just write in, say, SEI, that would be really good. And I want to see, I hope you guys watch it to the end, right? This video wasn't about information. It wasn't about I just wanted to get a lot of things off my chest. I just wanted to talk for a little bit. Last couple of weeks hasn't been the best for me in many ways, many things. So I just wanted to get those things off my chest, and wanted to just connect with you guys and see what happens. And yeah, moving forward, I will definitely drop something. I'll do a bit of research, because I don't want to just like these things. I can look, this is for Bobby, if you watched it to the end right now, many things I can say off the top of my head from what I've observed, what I'm looking at, all the charts and this and that. But when you say like talk about top 20, right, even 5 per video, whatever, for over 4 videos, I'm happy to do that. But not everything's in my mind right now. I don't have it all in my head that I can just offload. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to have to look at the charts. I'm going to have to analyze the chart, see the probabilities, the highs and lows, what we expect, when to expect it. And then I'll say something. Even if I've just simply say something, right? That's when I can actually guarantee to say something. Right now, off the top of my head, it's going to be too fast. It's going to be rushed. There's no point in me saying anything. So I will do that. I'll give you a bunch of coins, right? Not specifically for you or anybody. I'm just going to mention some of the coins that I will look at as a top pick. I mean, if you did watch the video to the end, you would have noticed that I talked about how I even dumped BNB recently, right? BNB recently to buy something else because I feel something else could pump. So a coin may not be on the top 20. It may be in the top 100 or even in the top 200, but if I think that this has a potential, I will still talk about that, because a top 20 doesn't have to necessarily be top 20 by how much the market cap is. Does that make sense? It could be top 20 by the amount of interest, right? The current sentiment in those coins, right? So the current narrative in those particular projects, it could be just those. The top 20 doesn't even have to be in the top 20 of the market cap, but it could be top 20, if that makes sense, right? So I'll drop something anyway. But other than that, guys, hope you watched it to the end. And yeah, like, share and subscribe, right, if you haven't already. And yeah, let's see where we go from there. And yeah, hope you all have a good one. Yeah, I don't know, I might make a video soon, or if not, I might just take a break for a couple of weeks or something like this. But I'll keep you guys posted on Discord. You know what I mean? If anything happens, if I'm not here on YouTube, or if there's nothing to talk about, I'll post something on Discord. Honestly, I'll post something on Discord. You can always holler at me there, right? Again, if people are putting messages on YouTube and whatnot, right? Yes, if I see them, I do reply. But sometimes I don't even bother opening the app to go and check them, right? I'm not big enough, guys. I'm not big enough, right? So what I do is, I just focus more on Discord and this and that. If you want to ask me something, go Discord and just ask me, for God's sake, right? Engage with each other and let's see where we go. Sometimes, you know what? This is a little bit of a bonus, right? Sometimes, when you're the only person who's answering the questions, or you're the only person who everybody's asking questions to, it gets a bit overwhelming. I would love to see the community engage with each other, charts, analysis, whatever, do it. You guys are more than capable of doing this. Those of you who have watched me for the last 2-3 years, I know for sure you guys know every single technique I use. You guys know every single methodology I have, all the madness that I give here. You guys are probably experts in it. You probably know more than I know myself, because sometimes when I'm emotionally driven, when I'm in that video, when I'm in my zone, right? When I'm freelancing, when I'm freestyling this, right? You know, you can make a song out of it, you can make a rap out of it. The point is when I'm freestyling this, right? No script, nothing. I'm just letting it go, letting it flow, right? Everything that I have in my mind, in my heart, I'm letting it flow. And I feel that sometimes I even forget what I say. You guys would know more, right? So, you know, keep at it, do your thing. That's what I'm going to say. Other than that, smash the like button and let me catch you on another one very soon. Adios, my amigos.